What's up, Broncos country? Look who's here, family. Get your hearts ready, because what I'm about to tell you could completely change our orange and blue team's season. We're just days away from something huge happening in Kansas City, and you won't want to miss a single detail of what's at stake in this Week 17. Take a deep breath, because what's coming could determine whether we'll have the best possible advantage in the playoffs or if we'll need to battle a bit more. Stick with me until the end, because this information will help you understand exactly where we stand in this crazy race for the postseason. We know the regular season is coming to an end, right? Only 2 weeks of games remain, and look, Broncos country, our team is sitting at 12 wins and 3 losses. Yes, you heard that right. 12-3. This puts us in a very privileged position in the American Conference, leading the West Division and already guaranteed a playoff spot. But hold on, because what matters now isn't just being in the party, but how we're going to enter this party. And I'm going to explain all the possible scenarios for Week 17. First, let's talk about the most important game of the week for us. Denver Broncos facing the Kansas City Chiefs on Thursday night, Christmas Day, at 8:15 at night. That's right, family. We're playing on the holiday under the spotlight with the whole world watching. And it's not just any game. It's a classic divisional matchup, the kind of game that defines rivalries and can open huge doors for what's ahead. Now hold on to this information, because it's crucial. If we beat the Chiefs in Kansas City and the Los Angeles Chargers lose or tie against the Houston Texans on Saturday, we guarantee the AFC West division title. Pay attention, because this is huge. Winning the division means we'll have at least one home game in the playoffs. It means respect. It means everyone will have to come to Mile High to try to knock us out of the Super Bowl race. But there's an even more special detail in all of this. There's one perfect scenario, where we not only win the West Division, but also secure the first seed in the entire American Conference. That means home field advantage throughout all the playoffs. It means a bye in the first round while everyone else is killing each other out there. It means rest, recovery, preparation at home while opponents face each other. And here's how it works. To clinch this first seed, the number 1 spot in the entire AFC, we need 5 things to happen simultaneously. First, we have to win in Kansas City. Second, the Chargers need to lose or tie with the Texans. Third, the New England Patriots need to lose to the New York Jets. Fourth, the Buffalo Bills need to lose or tie against the Philadelphia Eagles. Fifth, the Jacksonville Jaguars need to lose or tie against the Indianapolis Colts. I know it seems like a lot of combinations, but look at how all this math works. We're sitting at 12 wins and 3 losses, tied in record with the Patriots. The Chargers and Bills each have 11 wins and 4 losses, and the Jaguars are also at 11-4. Everyone's right there, fighting for position, fighting for advantage. And this is the decisive moment of the season, where each result, each touchdown, each field goal could mean the difference between playing at home or hitting the road in the playoffs. Let's analyze each piece of this puzzle, because it's essential to understand the context of each game. Our matchup against Kansas City is the starting point. The Chiefs are sitting at 6 wins and 9 losses this season, far from the dominant team we've known in recent years. But never underestimate a team at their own home, especially when that team is coached by Andy Reid and has players who know the taste of victory in big moments. We're going to have to go there and impose our rhythm from the first snap. Then there's the game between the Chargers and Texans on Saturday. Houston is playing really well with 10 wins and 5 losses, fighting hard for the South Division. The Chargers are flying too with 11-4, so this matchup will be high level. If Houston can defeat Los Angeles at their place, our life gets much easier. But we can't just root for others, family. We need to do our job first. The Patriots versus Jets game is also interesting. New England has the same record as us, 12-3, so they're also in the fight for the first seed. The Jets are practically eliminated with only 3 wins and 12 losses. But we know these late-season divisional games can hold surprises. New York will want to spoil their rivals' party and show pride even without playoff chances. Buffalo hosts the Philadelphia Eagles in a promising game. The Bills have 11-4 and still dream of the East Division title, while the Eagles have already secured the East in the NFC and will want to maintain their strong rhythm for the playoffs. This is the type of matchup where two high-quality teams face each other, and any result is possible. If Buffalo stumbles, our situation improves significantly, and there's Jacksonville visiting Indianapolis. The Jaguars are on an incredible streak of 6 straight wins and are also fighting for the AFC's first seed. They're already in the playoffs and could even clinch the South Division title this week. Indianapolis is at 8 wins and 7 losses, still alive in the race for a spot, so it's going to be war there. The Colts will play at home and will give everything to keep their hopes alive. Now let's talk about the simpler scenario, which is winning just the West Division title. For this to happen, we need to beat the Chiefs, and the Chargers need to lose or tie with the Texans. Or, if we tie with Kansas City and the Chargers lose, the division is also ours. See how everything is very balanced. A single different result can completely change the picture. Winning the West Division is crucial for several reasons. First, because it guarantees at least one home game in the wild card round, if we don't get the bye. Second, because it shows we dominated our own division, something that hasn't happened so convincingly in a while. Third, because it keeps our confidence sky high, shows everyone that this Denver team is back on top, that the rebuild worked, that we're ready to compete toe-to-toe with any opponent. Look at the amazing season we're having, Broncos Country. 12 wins so far, with a team that many people doubted at the beginning of the year. Our young quarterback is evolving every week. Our defense is flying on the field, applying pressure, forcing turnovers, not letting anyone breathe. The offense is balanced, able to produce both on the ground and through the air. It's a complete team, a team that believes in itself and has shown grit week after week. But let's be realistic too. We lost last week to Jacksonville at home in a game we expected to win. It was a tough, painful defeat that caught everyone by surprise. The Jaguars came to Mile High and showed why they're on such a good run of results. That loss cost us dearly, because if we had won, our situation would be even more comfortable now. But that's how this league works, family. You can't slip up at any moment because all teams are competitive. All have the quality to beat anyone on any given day. Now we need to use that loss as fuel. We need to enter Kansas City focused, determined, willing to do whatever it takes to leave there with the victory. Playing on the road is always difficult, especially against a divisional rival who knows us inside and out. But this is exactly the type of challenge that separates good teams from championship teams. Good teams win easy games at home. Championship teams go to hostile environments and impose their rhythm, show their superiority, earn important victories when it matters most. And this Thursday is exactly that kind of opportunity. A primetime game on Christmas Day with everyone watching. It's the chance to show the entire league that the Denver Broncos aren't playing around, that we came to stay, that we're ready to compete for the title. It's the type of stage that players dream of having, where legends are built, where unforgettable moments happen. Imagine the perfect scenario. We win in Kansas City, showing strength and determination. A few hours later, Houston surprises Los Angeles and defeats the Chargers. On Sunday, the Jets throw a party for their fans and beat the Patriots. The Eagles soar high and defeat Buffalo. And the Colts, playing at home, managed to stop Jacksonville's winning streak. If all this happens, family, we wake up Monday as the first seed in the entire American Conference. Just imagining it gives you chills, doesn't it? Having that bye in the first round, being able to rest and prepare while watching other teams battle each other. Having the certainty that all playoff games, if we keep winning, will be at Mile High, with our passionate fans pushing us, with our difficult climate for opponents to adapt to. That would be the realization of an entire season's work. It would be the reward for all the battles won so far. But what if this perfect scenario doesn't happen? What if we only get the division title? It would still be huge, family. It would still be cause for celebration. Because a few years ago we were fighting not to finish last in the division. We were watching other teams dominate while we tried to rebuild. And now we're here in Week 17, fighting not just for a playoff spot, but for home field advantage, for a bye, for a division title. This shows how much we've evolved, how much this group has grown, how much this organization has worked to get back to the top. Let's talk a bit about what happens if we don't even get the division title this week. We'd still have Week 18, the last round of the regular season, to define everything. And even if we don't get the first seed, we could still finish as second or third, which would also give home field advantage in at least some games. The important thing is to understand that we're in a privileged position, that the hard work of the entire season put us here, and that now we need to finish strong. Look at the overall AFC situation. We have 10 teams already qualified for the playoffs between both conferences, and only 4 spots remaining. In our conference, Broncos, Patriots, Jaguars, Bills, and Chargers are already in. Only 2 spots remain, with teams like the Texans, Colts, and even Ravens still in the fight. The race is extremely tight, and each result this week will reverberate in multiple positions in the standings. The Patriots have the same record as us, but they have a disadvantage in tiebreaker criteria for now. If we finish tied, we need to understand how all these tiebreakers work, all these criteria that can define who stays above whom. There's head-to-head, there's division record, there's record against common opponents, there's even strength of victory, which is basically the sum of the records of all the teams you defeated. It's complex math, but the analysts and the league have all this calculated down to the finest details. The Chargers are our main rivals for the division. If we finish tied in number of wins, the first criterion is head-to-head. We're still going to face them in the last week of the regular season, so that game could literally decide who gets the West title. But if we can win this week and they lose, we make our life much easier, because then we could even lose in the last round and still end up with the division. Buffalo has been a consistent force in recent years. The Bills always come on strong in the playoffs, always give any opponent trouble. They have an explosive offense and a solid defense. If they stumble against the Eagles, our position improves, but even if they win, we're still ahead by the difference in wins at the moment. Jacksonville is the surprise of the second half of the season. After starting slowly, they reeled off 6 straight wins and are now a real threat to anyone. They have momentum, they have confidence, and they proved it by beating us last week. But the beauty of the playoffs is that the past doesn't matter. If we meet them again in January, it will be a completely different game, under different circumstances. Now let me ask you a question. Do you think we can win in Kansas City? Do you believe in this team? Because I believe, family. I believe a lot. I've seen this group overcome adversity all year. I've seen young players grow and become leaders. I've seen veterans show the way and experience in crucial moments. I've seen coaches make brilliant adjustments. I've seen an entire organization rowing in the same direction. This is the moment to show all of this on the field. Thursday night, lights shining, field ready, opposing crowd making noise. It's time to go in there and do what we do best, play high-level football. It's time for the defense to pressure the opposing quarterback from the first down. It's time for the offensive line to open holes for the running game and give our quarterback time to make decisions. It's time for receivers to win individual matchups and make difficult catches. It's time for special teams to be flawless, not give an inch of advantage to the opponent. And you can help too, Broncos Country. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the perfect time to do it. Because in the coming weeks, we're going to have lots of playoff content, lots of analysis, lots of debate, lots of emotion. And you won't want to miss any of it, right? So click down there on the subscribe button, activate the notification bell to receive everything firsthand. Let's live this journey together like the true family we are. Getting back to the topic, let's also think about what could go wrong. What if we lose in Kansas City? What if the Chargers win? Then the race for the division goes to the last week, and probably that direct confrontation between us and Los Angeles will decide everything. In that scenario, we'd still have great chances because the game would be at home, at Mile High, with all our fans pushing. But obviously it would be better to settle things beforehand, not depend on a single game to define everything. What if the Patriots win? What if Jacksonville wins? Then the fight for the first seed gets even more complicated because we'd have to win everything and still root for specific stumbles in Week 18. The more we postpone achievements, the tighter the situation gets, the more we depend on external results. That's why it's important to do our job now, not leave for later what we can resolve immediately. But you know what's beautiful about this whole situation? It's in our hands. It doesn't matter what others do if we keep winning. If we win Thursday and win in the last week, we guarantee at least an excellent position in the playoffs, probably the division title, and we still have a real chance at the first seed depending on other results. The control is with us, and that's all a team can ask for at this point in the season. Think with me how many franchises would like to be in our position now. How many teams are already eliminated, already thinking about the draft, already making plans for next year? And us? We're here planning the best possible route to the Super Bowl. We're discussing whether we want the first or second seed. We're choosing between good scenarios and great scenarios. This is privilege, family. This is the reward for a job well done. And we can't forget the bigger context of this season. We're resurging as a force in the league after some difficult years. We're showing everyone that this team's legacy didn't die, that the winning tradition continues alive. We're giving joy to a passionate fan base that deserves to see their team fight for the most important titles. We're writing a new chapter in the long, victorious trajectory of this organization. Every game from here on out is an opportunity to create unforgettable memories. Thursday could be one of those days we'll remember forever, that we'll tell our children and grandchildren about. That time we won in Kansas City on Christmas, securing the division title and paving the way for a special playoff run. Or maybe the day everything fell perfectly into place and we clinched the AFC's first seed. These moments don't happen every year, so when they come, we need to grab them with all our strength. The preparation for this game started on Sunday after the loss to Jacksonville. The coaching staff spent the entire week studying Kansas City, putting together the perfect game plan, identifying opponent weaknesses, and maximizing our strengths. The players trained hard, perfected details, adjusted timing, worked on specific situations. Everyone knows what's at stake. Everyone understands the magnitude of this moment. And look, even if not all the results we need happen this week, even if we don't achieve everything now, the important thing is to maintain focus and confidence. Because in the playoffs, it doesn't matter so much if you're the first, second, or third seed. What matters is how you're playing. What matters is the team's momentum. What matters is the ability to execute under pressure. And this team has shown all these qualities throughout the season. Let's talk quickly about some key players for Thursday. Our quarterback needs to be surgical, making quick and precise decisions. He has evolved tremendously throughout the year and now needs to show he can win big games in hostile environments. Our offensive line has a crucial mission to provide protection and open holes. The defense needs to be aggressive but disciplined. Can't let Kansas City find rhythm and confidence. On special teams, every punt, every kickoff, every field goal can make a difference. We've seen so many games decided by special teams details that you can't underestimate any aspect. We need to win the field position battle, not give extra opportunities to the opponent, be flawless in execution. And you at home are also part of all this. The energy you send, the cheering you do, the vibration with each important play, all of this connects somehow with what happens on the field. It may seem like an exaggeration, but anyone who truly lives football knows there's a collective energy, a force that comes from the fans and propels the players. So on Thursday, wear your orange and blue jersey, gather the family, friends, and cheer with all your strength. Because Broncos Country is much more than a team. It's a community, a family spread everywhere that vibrates together on every snap. Thinking about the next steps, regardless of this week's result, Week 18 will still be important. We're going to face the Chargers in a matchup that could define the division if it's not already decided, or it could be a game to adjust final details before the playoffs if we've already secured what we need. Either way, there can be no relaxation, no complacency. Every game needs to be approached with maximum seriousness, because that's how winning teams behave. Looking at the playoffs themselves, it doesn't matter who we'll face. It doesn't matter if we get known teams or season surprises. What matters is being prepared, executing our football, taking advantage of our strengths, and minimizing our weaknesses. We have talent, we have coaching, we have group chemistry. Now we need to turn all of this into victories when it really counts. And I can guarantee you one thing. This team isn't afraid of anyone. We've already proven we can beat quality opponents. We've already shown resilience coming back from difficult situations within games. We've already demonstrated maturity, managing leads, and protecting results. These are all essential characteristics for a long and victorious playoff run. The atmosphere at Mile High will be insane in the playoffs, family. Imagine our passionate fans, the packed stadium, that unique energy that only happens in elimination games. Imagine the pressure on opponents coming from outside, facing not just our team, but also our altitude, our climate, our hostile environment. These advantages make a difference, and the better our seeding, the more games we'll have at home. That's why the fight for every position in the standings is so important. But let's take it easy too, step by step. First Kansas City on Thursday, then we think about the rest. That's how great campaigns are built. Total focus on the next challenge, respect for all opponents, flawless execution game after game. There's no point dreaming about the Super Bowl if we don't win the intermediate battles. So all focus needs to be on this Christmas divisional matchup. The rivalry with Kansas City is special. These are two teams that know each other well, that have already been part of memorable games over the years. It doesn't matter what records each has in the current season. When these teams face each other, it's always war. It's divisional pride at stake. It's respect earned on the field. It's that desire to show superiority over the rival. And Thursday won't be any different. I want to see everyone engaged, family. I want to see comments down here with your predictions for the game. Do you think we win by how many points? Which player will be decisive? What specific play will make a difference? Let's debate. Let's talk. Let's build this expectation together. Because football is this too. The anticipation, the analyses, the passionate discussions among people who love the sport and the team. And after the game, regardless of the result, we'll be here again to analyze everything that happened, to celebrate if we win, to keep our heads up if we lose. Because this journey is long and what matters is how we finish, not just how we started. So subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, leave a like on this video, share with other Denver Broncos fans you know. Let's make this family grow. Let's strengthen our community. Think about the responsibility of these players entering the field Thursday. They carry not just their own expectations, but those of thousands of fans who will be watching, cheering, suffering, and vibrating with each play. It's enormous pressure, but it's also an immense privilege. Being able to represent such a passionate fan base, being able to wear the colors of such a historic franchise, being able to have the chance to write your name in the collective memory of an entire community of fans. And we, as fans, have the responsibility to support unconditionally. In good moments and difficult moments, when everything is going right and when things don't go as planned. Because it's easy to cheer when everything is perfect. The real test of a passionate fan base is how it reacts in adversity, how it maintains faith when everything seems lost, how it continues pushing the team even when results don't come. But look where we are now, 12-3, fighting for the first seed, with a real possibility of a division title this week. This is much more than many expected at the beginning of the season. It's the result of extraordinary collective work, constant evolution, a winning mentality that was built brick by brick over the months. So on Thursday, when that initial whistle blows, when our players are lined up for the kickoff, I want all of Broncos country to be together, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Let's send all the positive energy possible to Kansas City. Let's believe in every snap. Let's vibrate with every first down achieved. Let's celebrate every point scored. Because together we're stronger, together we're unbeatable, together we're Broncos country. So, Denver Broncos family, what are you feeling right now? Anxiety, confidence, nervousness, excitement? Probably a mix of all of this, right? Because that's how big games make us feel. It's that butterfly feeling before something important happens. It's that expectation that keeps us passionate about the sport. Embrace that feeling, embrace this emotion, because moments like this are rare and precious. Comment down here your expectations, your predictions, your hopes. Leave a like if you're excited for Thursday. Share with that friend who is also Broncos country and needs to see this video. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click there, join the family. Let's grow together on this journey toward glory. See you in the next video, and until then, may all the results we need happen. Broncos country, always.